Donald Trump's finely crafted facades of power and knowing more than anyone else, especially on this one particular topic, was just dealt a massive blow and he caved in under the mounting pressure. His fragile ego and his grip on power appear to be in free fall, and I have all the details for you next. This story about Donald Trump's about-face is trending today for a very good reason. The fallout from his reckless actions have the potential to impact every living American. But there's a powerful group who is calling him out and has him running scared. Before I reveal who it is and what they've done, I want to first share a bit of related news from his own odd mouth. Just this morning, Trump was given a microphone and he did what he does best, blather nonsense. Watch as he ironically and without any self-awareness pledges not to make the United States a laughingstock after he's made the United States a laughingstock. And then he rambles on to reveal that his economic strategy is based on what happened in 1913. For a wee bit of context, 1913 is now 112 years ago and was the year that both the crossword puzzle and the gas station first appeared. So that doesn't feel at all dated, Donnie.
Everybody wants to be a part of what we're doing. They know that they can't get away with it any longer, but they're still going to do fine. And we're going to have a country that you can be proud of, not a laughing stock all over the world for many years, you know. And 1913, they traded to the income tax system. We used to be all tariff, and we had no income tax, and we had the wealthiest country we've ever had proportionately. From about 1870 to 1913, it was all tariffs, and we had more money than anybody. They had committees how to spend the money. They had so much money they didn't know how to spend. Then some brilliant person said, let's go income tax, let's let the people pay. Now, we're going to be able to substantially lower taxes when this is finished.
This next clip is from that same White House moment, and it doesn't connect to today's trending story, but I had to watch this rambling mess, and now you do too. Please suffer through it as I did, and on the other side, you'll learn how Trump just folded bigly.
We're putting up a beautiful, almost 100-foot tall American flag on this side and another one on the other side, two flags, top of the line, and they've needed flagpoles for 200 years. It was something I've often said, you know, they don't have a flagpole per se, so we're putting one right where you saw us, and we're putting another one on the other side on top of the mounds. It's going to be two beautiful poles. Paid for by Trump.
Thank you, Donald, for that very detailed explanation about flagpoles, but let's switch to today's other bombshell news, as summarized by the Daily Beast headline that reads, "Terrified Trump flees tariffs war after CEO's empty shelves warning." It went on to say, President Donald Trump radically softened some of his most severe rhetoric after CEOs of the nation's biggest retail chains warned him of looming price rises and empty shelves. The CEOs of Walmart, Target, and Home Depot met privately with Trump on Monday and told him that although prices were steady at the moment, his trade policies could have devastating effects within 2 weeks and supply chains could be disrupted, Axios reported. And MSNBC and Politico just expanded on the report.
You guys are writing about what's happening behind the scenes and what sort of led to this moment here, saying that President Trump got a scare from CEOs and the markets on Monday. What has led to what we're seeing today?
Yeah, I think the important takeaway would be in the last 24 hours, I'd say for the first time, we feel like in talking to White House officials, they're starting to make progress in persuading Trump that what he did early on was too dangerous and is really having ramifications that go beyond what he was seeing in his line of sight. Very important meeting yesterday in the White House. You had the CEOs of Walmart, Target, Home Depot with the president, warning him very bluntly, saying, listen, like, you're going to have price increases soon. You're going to have empty shelves in a lot of our stores.
Like in 2 weeks.
Like in 2 weeks. And you're going to have smaller companies going under because they're so reliant on trade, and that hasn't showed up yet at the stores, but it will soon. And I think the combination of that, watching the markets, hearing from other CEOs across different sectors saying the same thing, does appear, and I put quotes around appear because the president really is dug in on tariffs as a theory, but at least the White House officials who are trying to persuade him are. And that is an important thing to note about Trump, like if someone who runs a company as a CEO, you need people around you who will look at you and say, you know what, that's a dumb idea, and say it bluntly, or that's a dangerous idea, and say it bluntly. He doesn't have that. So when you're trying to persuade him, people have to either bring in other officials that he respects, or they have to say, no, sir, this is actually a genius idea if you move it this way. And so the process of moving him is taking a lot longer than those that don't like the policy internally would hope. So we'll see if he continues on this track. But certainly the comment on China, certainly the comment on Powell, the idea that that was the media making it up that he wanted to fire him. They were reacting to his social media post where he basically called him a dog and said that he's a loser and shouldn't be in the gig. Like, is he saying he should be fired? No, but anyone else interpreting that might be fair to interpret it as that way.
Donald Trump just got a brutal wake-up call from the people he listens to most, the rich and powerful. After weeks of reckless economic moves and meltdowns, he felt cornered. Markets tanked and panic set in, and when the pressure reached a boiling point, he folded and did that thing he always does, or I should say never does, admit he made a mistake and take responsibility. His current moves aren't about leadership, it's about survival. Trump's sudden reversal on tariffs and interest rates didn't come from a strategy or a principle. It came from fear. Fear of empty shelves, fear of another stock market crash, and fear of losing the only thing he truly cares about, his image. And behind the scenes, you know Trump's closest advisors are scrambling to walk him back from the edge, gently, carefully, and always with flattery. And this latest reversal proves yet again that he doesn't govern, he reacts like a CEO. And the cost of his ill-conceived plan and his reckless leadership to us all still remains to be seen.